a black detective who was awarded the Whitest Black Guy trophy by his supervisor at the police precinct. I kid you not. This is in Delaware. Wilmington Police Department is investigating after it learned a black officer was given the Whitest Black Guy trophy. Let's put up the trophy. We got a picture of the trophy. Okay? And then it's a cheap ass trophy at that. The identity of the black officer has not been revealed as of yet. This is an interesting and deep story. The trophy was reportedly given in jest. Oh, it's just a joke. Was awarded to a black male detective by his white supervisor, according to officials. It has been on display of the detective's desk since 2019. It means that you are not fitting in with your own culture, said Kobe Owens, the Delaware NAACP member. It's unfortunate that this has actually been on the desk for almost 3 years now. And to finally see a picture of it and show something like that is just unacceptable. It's a damn shame is what it is. The Wilmington Council President, Trippy Congo. Now, Councilmember Congo is an interesting individual because Congo released a picture of the gold figure with a statement saying, "This is an example of the culture displayed by the department. I understand they're like family, but they're not. And for them to give that kind of award when they already know the tension between black and white officers," Congo said. Congo says the officers that brought this to his attention, they find it offensive, although the recipient reportedly doesn't mind. Now, let me tell you about the detective here who had this on his desk since 2019, okay? He's the agreeable Negro. Now, let me be very clear about this. He doesn't want it on his desk, but he has been so conditioned to simply acquiesce to the power structure around him that he is basically a reflection of whatever their will may be. We have many terms for this. I will not say them on television. But he's not comfortable. He's not okay with it, okay? He's conditioned. Let's put up a picture. Wilmington Council President Trippy Congo, he says they felt emboldened to at least speak with him after a no confidence vote of the police chief. This is Robert Tracy, which passed 6-4. So the council voted a no confidence vote into the chief of police, right? This isn't the first time that racial tensions have been on display in that department. Let me give you another story connected to the same department, and this is just one of many. In 2014, members of the Muslim Delaware Community and National Black Police Association stood behind Captain Fahim Akil, who is black, okay? He's black. After he faced internal charges for calling a white officer by a racial slur, okay? Now, here's the backstory to that. According to sources from the incident, Akil had confronted another officer, Sergeant Vincent Nall, after he used a racial slur against another black officer. So you got a black officer approaching a sergeant about the use of the N-word, okay? That's what's happening here. Nall had used the N-word when referencing a black officer during roll call, sources said. In confronting Nall, Akil used the C word. And the sources say it differed in the context than how the other officer used the racial slur against a black cop. So you have this kind of tension inside of the police department. Now, at some point, police officers, you have to talk up. I mean, damn, we can't keep talking up for you. You have to talk up. You have to come out and say, this is the racism, file the lawsuit, make the complaint. I know it may not go anywhere internally, but you have to sound the alarm. And if you don't sound the alarm, you are allowing these individuals who are antithetical to the progress of black folk and brown folk and historically marginalized groups to continue to assault and violate them on a regular basis. And if you think you are a good cop, if you are allowing that industry to permeate outside of your precinct, you're not as good as you believe you are. Jackson, what are your thoughts on this story, brother? Do you think the black cop was just A-okay with everything?
Well, if you're looking at it from a shallow perspective, it's easy to think that that may be the case. But as you point out, and as you pointed out in one of the previous stories you covered about this really getting that award, basically what it's saying is you're predictable. I know what you're gonna do. I know what you're gonna say. And that really, this speaks a lot, even though I'm, about as light skinned as it gets on the spectrum of black people, you know what I'm saying? Me always being an entrepreneur, business owner, make something out of nothing type of person, and just having a personality that pursues freedom. If you're a minority, you're either that or you kind of have to conform in some type of way. And so we're slowly getting out of those times to where you don't really have as much of a choice. But that's really what that award says, because in a corporate structure, if you have the type of personality to where, not that you don't want to be, an a-hole anywhere, but the type of person where you'll stand up for what's right. If you don't agree with something, or if you push the edge, if the company's doing something that you don't believe in, those types of people don't necessarily go far within a rigid corporate structure.
That's right.
People who, aren't just gonna do anything but be themselves. So that's really a lot of what this alludes to, more so than not, is the experience of being a minority, especially the darker your skin is in this country. You either have to take the risks of being yourself openly and the struggle that brings, or you have to turn yourself off or try to find somewhere in the middle. So that's really what I think that this sheds light on more than anything else.
Very well said. Very well said.